What's the password?
Oh, this for the phone. 837.
Good morning. Good morning. Okay. What I want to do today is I want to learn this talk that Rebbe gave to the residents of Kfar Chabad in 1984, the 26th of Tishrei. It's unusual, very sharp words. And it's about Avos Yisrael. It's something I think that, something that I think that the Rebbe said because of whatever was going on then, and something that we all can learn from. Let's go. It's known and famous like Kfar Chabad, and then after Kfar Chabad, another section was built called Nachal Chabad. Right? It was founded by the leader of our generation, by the Rebbe, my father-in-law, who also right away showed what the spiritual foundations the village should be built on. It should be built on, and they were built on. What are the spiritual foundations? And this is the role the Kfar Chabad should play for the whole Israel, and from Israel to the rest of the world, all other lands. First of all, one of the foundations is the self-understood, the study of the inner dimension of Torah, the Chabad of Torah, together with the revealed parts of Torah, which the revealed parts of Torah and the inner dimension of Torah parts are similar to the soul and body. Each one is completed by the other, as explained in many places. And to study Torah, you have to first pray in order to be able to study Torah properly. Which this is connected to the loving Hashem. And how do you express love of Hashem? This is through davening, through studying the will and wisdom of Hashem, studying in a way that it brings to action, the actual performance of mitzvahs in a beautiful way, daily life. Together with this, Alter Rebbe says that the love of Hashem is one with the love of your fellow Jew. This is one of the first fundamental things of the building of Kfar Chabad. It's one of the things it's built on. And after that, the building of Nachal Chabad and other places that will be built with Hashem's help in Israel. It's connected with these three loves: love of God, love of Torah, and love of the Jewish people, loving your fellow like yourself. Which this brings down the blessings of God in general, a triple blessing. The blessing that's the Kohanim give us. And what we're talking about, the main thing, the blessing from the founder of Kfar Chabad, a blessing that continues and impacts and grows and grows. So in the Kfar Chabad, the previous Rebbe put his whole being. I, my soul, I wrote it and gave it. These people should go according to these instructions. They shouldn't confuse themselves. They shouldn't get convinced by the strange God within. Meaning, everyone has a strange God within them, meaning the Yetzer Hara. So they should. So these just recap briefly. The previous Rebbe built Kfar Chabad with this foundation, the foundation of these three loves, which these three loves brings to the triple blessing. And people should not get confused with Something where people might get confused and different things that might take away that love. But the triple love, that is what brings down blessings of Hashem for the triple blessing. I think the triple blessing may be referring to the three sections of the blessing of the Kainim. I'm not sure, maybe the three general blessings of health, parnasa, and nachas from children. I'm not sure, but probably the simple. I mean, it just says a triple blessing. The blessing of Kainim. There's three different sentences there. I don't know. And three loves: the love of God, love of Torah, love of the Jewish people. So we shouldn't get convinced by the arguments of the strange God which is within you, or from arguments which come from without. From when the Rebbe says the word without, and the surface is talking about without your things are coming outside of yourself. But the Rebbe sort of does a play on words over here and says without doesn't just mean without things are coming out of yourself, but bachutz in Hebrew also can mean things are from the outside, meaning things which are beyond the pale, things which are out of the realm of holiness. And to act instead according to the instructions of the founder of Kfar Chabad and Nachas Chabad, in a way that continue to more and more, and with the help of God, with the participation of the residents of Kfar Chabad and Nachas Chabad, they have built. And there's flourishing, there's blossoming, and it's begun to spread. In both of these areas, Kfar Chabad and Nachas Chabad are blossoming, but unfortunately, it's not blossoming according to the measure, not according to it's not in sync with the desire perfectly of the one who founded Kfar Chabad, which is the leader of our generation. And the only explanation why it's not happening that way is because how could it be? God is giving his blessing from his open, full, and wide hand. And the one who draws blessing down, the intermediary, the previous Rebbe, it says a good eye blesses. So he is also giving his blessing. He's blessing and success, and continue to give more and more blessings. The only explanation which could possibly be why they didn't fulfill using out these blessings in their fullest measure, and very far from where they have to be used. This is because it's missing with the great sins in the idea of loving your fellow like yourself. Certainly, everyone has their explanations why he's right, and there's something missing in the other person. Why should I do the mitzvah of loving your fellow like yourself? So this explains that this explanation, the other guy's fault, that comes from the opposite of holiness, which that tries to seduce a Jew that he should not fulfill his role and serve God with. The role is to serve God with joy and gladness of heart. The Baal Shem Tov said very clearly, and the previous Rebbe repeated this many times, the loving your fellow Jew has to be exactly the way you love yourself in the simple sense. Just like you know about your own faults. And that doesn't affect your love for yourself. And you know for sure that you have these faults. How much more so for another person? The other person's efficiency could be you're exaggerating his deficiency. It could be that you just made it up. How much more so that at least that just like by yourself it says all faults are covered by your self-love, by yourself, how much more so should it be for the faults of another person, which it could be the whole thing is just imaginary, or it's exaggerated, exaggerated very, very far. And so how much more so should just like for your own faults, you know for sure you have these faults. Yes, and you can live with yourself because you love yourself. How much more so another person, which you don't even know if they have these faults, and it could be that you're exaggerating them. It could be that they're imaginary. How much more so should the words of King Solomon, that all faults are covered by love? How much more so should your love for the other person help you ignore their faults, help you cover their faults? There's something which is damaging to receive the blessings of God. And the founder of Kfar Chabad, the Rebbe, my father-in-law, the leader of our generation, and certainly among the blessings that God gives through the leader of our generation to every Jew, and especially to the residents of Kfar Chabad, to men, to women, and to children, He certainly gave a blessing to fulfill with joy and gladness of heart, in the fullest measure, a commandment, which is a general principle in Torah. To fulfill the commandment to love your fellow like yourself. For sure, He empowered everyone to do this. And much more so, Chassidus explains at length, and it gives a simple explanation for this, how it's something which is self-understood, that this love has to do with a whole full storm. And if there is some kind of rationale that it's so basically there's certainly a great blessing if Hashem is blessing Jews with everything they need, for sure He's blessing them to fulfill this mitzvah of Yisrael. And so therefore you should know you're able to do this. It's something which you're empowered and you're blessed to do. You have the blessing to do this. So if some kind of rationale comes, and Chassidus explains at length what this means and how very simple and how it gives very simple explanations that you can understand. So if there's some kind of rationale which detracts from this, that causes you to lack in your love of your fellow Jew, and cause you to tell another person they should also not act the way they love sister, or you pretend that you don't understand. I'm not sure. I think what I was saying is that you convince yourself that you're not doing something which is not Avos Yisrael. So you're not willing to like answer the question, are you acting in a way which is not according to Avos Yisrael? So you're like, it's like we once learned the people were like complaining in the eyes of Hashem, doesn't the Torah? They were like complaining. So he asked the Jews, what are they like complaining? They said, are you guys complaining? But this isn't good, and that isn't good, and this isn't good. So it sounds like I'm just referring to a similar kind of phenomenon where a person doesn't want to come face to face with the reality that he's not acting without Yisrael. But this going against love of God, the love of the Jewish people, is if a person acts in a way that's against the love of your fellow Jew, is also acting against the love of God, and which is the opposite of what the founder of Kfar Chabad made Kfar Chabad for. And he is the one who actually takes care of it. Doesn't matter what the explanation might be, what explanation you might give, you have to know that this is connected with leader of our generation. And he knows the truth the way it really is. And he only wants good, open and clear good, for every single Jew. And the end is he's going to be successful. That there will be love of a fellow like yourself. As he said several times, that as chassid is, the previous Rebbe said, a chassid is a smart man. He doesn't wait till tomorrow to something you can accomplish today. Automatically, practically. We only want to speak about the positive of the Jewish people. You have to know, both in Kfar Chabad and in Nachzar Chabad, they have rabbis. They're called the masters of the place. Whether you agree or don't agree, the Code of Jewish Law says that this is the will of God. You have to obey the rabbi. And practically, that the rabbi affirms the elections that happened in Kfar Chabad and Nachzar Chabad. He affirms the elections in the past, in the present, or in the future. So first of all, I think that was referring to elections they had for the committee to run the affairs in Kfar Chabad, and apparently there was some politics at that time about the elections. So they were saying that you may not agree with the rabbi, etc. But the bottom line is if he is the rabbi and the rabbi is called the master of the place, you have to listen to what he's telling you. Because this is what says the code of Jewish law is the will of Hashem. So fill the instructions of the rabbis, and automatically from the various organizations which are established through the rabbi of Kfar Chabad, which these organizations were voted in, and since they're voted in, so they were voted according to the majority. So there was a majority opinion that put these various committees and organizations in place. So then I was going to go on to say about how sometimes you have a vote and you're not voted, things don't go the way you wanted to vote. You want to vote differently, but yet once a decision is made, it's inclusive, so that everyone's represented in the vote, and therefore everyone can get along with the final decision of the vote, whether or not that's the way they vote. So although there is a minority that have a different opinion, and it could be they have reasons and explanations, but after there was already a vote, so the minority becomes insignificant as a separate entity. And certainly, God forbid, should this minority do something to interfere certainly this minority will not do anything to interfere with what the committee is trying to do in any way, whether in a direct way or in a hidden way, or to ask someone else to mess things up, because the other guy doesn't realize he's being asked to, or he does realize whatever happened in the past has happened. From now on, there needs to be peace, true peace, and trying to explain why there can't be peace with all kinds of rationale. You have to know this is connected to the previous Rebbe, the leader of our generation. So both men, women, and children, they have to remember, if about all Jews it says that you should love truth and peace, how much more so those places which have a special blessing, a blessing which continues and grows, and it grows with more and more light through the leader of our generation. But the only thing the leader of our generation asks is that we should all stand right together to receive the blessings of Hashem in the best way, in an open and clear way. The vessel to receive his blessings is, first of all, as the Tzemach Tzedek said, and the leader of our generation repeated, Aleph Beis. Aleph Beis stands for Ava Bracha. Love brings the blessing. Aleph Beis stands for Ava Bracha. When there's love, there's blessing. He also explained what the other two letters stand for, Gimel and Dalet. But the Rebbe doesn't want to say what Gimel and Dalet stand for, because Gimel and Dalet is negative. Gimel and Dalet stands for Gaiva Dalus. When there's arrogance, there's poverty. The Rebbe says, that doesn't want to say the other part, but key is that everyone's only focusing on positive. Where there's love, there's blessing. That's a key. That's a vessel for all blessings. And don't allow the old foolish king, the Yetzer Hara, to have any place, to have any room to walk in. Not in Kfar Chabad, not in Nachas Chabad. And realize this is very close to you, in your mouth and your heart, to do this. All you need to do is want with the truth, and want to not allow any kind of calculations. if the one that basically that you shouldn't, no other calculation should mix in to this that you're supposed to be doing, and if you want with the truth, rely instead on the rationale of the leader of our generation, the previous Rebbe, who said it's clear that every Jewish resident in Kfar Chabad, which was this village was built according to his desire and has his blessings in a way that in a continuous measure. So if to act exactly according to the rabbis of that, which are of that place, and which they are the ones who organize these various committees, and therefore you have to follow the instructions of committees as well and support them. We'll stop here. Hashem will continue tomorrow. All right. Any questions, comments?